That's pretty dope. Folks, how we doing? Welcome to ISO Buddies. Today it's one ISO Buddy. So I don't know if you saw. I see Don already thinks that we have a Biggs tonight. But sadly, we don't. I see we've got our regular band of Yahoos already here. Vic, Jedi, Don. Am I missing anybody? 503. No Biggs. No Biggs tonight. So Miles is here. Yeah, Biggs is having some kind of a issue. That's all I can say. So it's a personal thing. That's all I can get into. But he sends his apologies and his regrets. We're going to try to do a Thursday episode here soon. I don't think Biggs knows that yet. So I told him just don't worry about it. Like, my show is not worth having all that. Yeah, sorry, Wally. We were going to talk about cichlids tonight. I wanted to just talk about South Americans, but that wasn't going to be the issue. Biggs does what Biggs does. So I'm a little relieved. No. The last 3 times we've tried to have Biggs on, something's come up. So either he's avoiding me really well, or no, I think he really has issues. So he just asked me to try to do some art for his channel, which I think is amazing. And Manta Scott, how are you? Again, for everybody, I'll just keep repeating it. We don't have a Biggs today. So Ching, what's going on? So, but I thought we could still do just a live stream of talking, and I could kind of talk about cichlids. Other than my wonderful wife, cichlids are my second favorite topic. Wally, if you want to come on and talk about cichlids, we can do that. My goal was to talk about South Americans tonight because I don't know much about them. And I wanted to do a separate episode of like the Lake Taganaka, those cichlids in Africa, because I think that that's fascinating that lake basically has cichlids in it, and that's it. And they've all evolved to fill a different niche. It is hard to compete with Nanette. I don't even try. She's amazing. Someday I'll have just Nanette on the show and have Wally in the back like, what about me? Doing people critter chores. I like that people can do that while they're listening to the show. Tanganyika. There you go. There you go. I knew somebody would have it. I think it's fascinating that those cichlids, there's so many species in that one lake that have evolved to take advantage of the limited resources in that lake. And partly they're kind of limited because of the fish. So where you have like mouth breeders and shell breeders and just every kind of a niche is filled. Algae eaters. It's crazy. It's crazy the different things they've taken. What's wrong with you? I know like zero about cichlids, but it's always cool to learn. Yeah, I just really know from my days of working in pet stores. So I know some generals. I know Oscars, like learning about Oscars and how they're not as savage as they were first made out to be. When I first saw them in the hobby, they were basically made out to be these big savages, but they're just big softies. I've seen them kept in a tank at our aquarium, at Shed Aquarium, with cardinal tetras. And they were fine. They didn't care. They had a brood of babies that they were watching. It was pretty cool to see them like in a community tank, essentially, with this triangle they made against the rocks. The tails were here, and mom and dad were here. And there was just, I don't know how many babies, at least 60. Yeah, I haven't really kept cichlids. I tried once, and it didn't turn out very well. I just didn't have the drive to keep them. They didn't fascinate me as much as I thought they would. And to be honest, I didn't have them set up. Lake Malawi, also cool. Yeah, it always fascinates me, like, how are these hugely divergent species on different continents cichlids? Like, essentially, they don't look the same to me. Like, physically, I don't categorize them, but I don't see any similarities physically between like South Americans and African cichlids. So the Africans, you can all kind of see, they're all kind of similar, but then you have South Americans seem to be more diverse to me physically anyway. Because you have angelfish or cichlids, you have like convicts, Oscars. There's just a ton of different fish that you wouldn't normally think of. Jewel cichlids, rams. I believe rams are in the cichlid family. And I just think they're beautiful. I think they're some of the most beautiful fish. Discus are cichlids technically. Even though the water for Africans, or have the water for Africans. Yeah, they definitely have a specific pH and everything that they need. Discus too, good. Wally, I got it in before Wally. Yes. Discus are some of my favorite fish in the world. Maybe I'll do that for that 125. It might be too shallow for them though. I don't know how shallow they get. Like I can only fill that tank about halfway because I don't think it'll hold water past that unless I can figure out a way to brace it. But yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about cichlids. I'll be honest. I don't really know a lot about them. We'll give you the updates here. Everything here is breeding really well. For Don asked about my interview today. My interview went really well, and I thought I tanked it. But then an hour later, like an hour after I left the office, they told me I would hear in a week or two if they were interested. And then they called today, an hour later, to give me an interview tomorrow for my second interview. Had discus in a 125. Yeah, this would essentially be a 75, I think, after all said and done. I think that would be okay for like a couple discus, like 3 or 4. Crebensis are dope. Yeah, Crebensis, the dwarf cichlids, I think are really cool. Jewel cichlids, I know there's a few that you can keep in like they're more peaceful. You can keep them in a community tank. Severums are cool. And they don't get too big. Those are one of the ones that are a little less destructive. Are those parrotfish? Those weird-headed parrotfish? Those are cichlids too, aren't they? The Africans either aren't picky or my city water is really good because they're flourishing. For a banker. The interview was for a banker at BMO Harris. I don't know if you guys have BMO Harris where you're at, but they're kind of all over the place in America. Apparently not in Michigan. So, because I made that mistake. But yeah, I thought I tanked the interview, and I did that thing where at the end I looked back to see, after the door closed to the office, I looked back to see if I could see their reaction. They were kind of like this was kind of their face. And so I was like, oh, I went home all depressed. And then my phone rang, and I answered it. It was like a nearby area code, so I answered it. And they were like, yeah, this is so-and-so from BMO. We want to set up a second interview. And I was like, sorry, I just shit my pants. Thanks, man. I really need it. I really need it. And it would be a good opportunity. Parrotfish are New World cichlids. All right, my kid's having a fit. Hold on just a second, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. I don't know what she's having a fit about, but she's having a fit. I think she hears that the neighbor kid is sleeping with her mom every night, and she doesn't get to do that. So we have that neighbor kid that's a bad influence. Can't keep plants with severums. Okay. Well, 8 o'clock is bedtime, so we kind of let her stay up 10 minutes late. And, oh, this is the taste test today. Dr. Pepper cotton candy. So I think my new go-to for weird food is going to be Cracker Barrel, because they have the weirdest snacks there. So we're gonna get the smell test. I've been holding this for a week. Doesn't really smell like anything. Kind of smells like Dr. Pepper vaguely. Yeah, right? This is dope. I saw pickle cotton candy online, and I haven't ordered it yet. So I'm waiting for this month's Patreon money to come in. Yeah, we're going to let you know if it's absolutely foul. It doesn't stick together very well. So here we go. It's purple. It's dark purple. Tastes a bit like cough medicine. To be honest, it tastes a little like cough medicine. It's not bad. I'll let you know when my tooth cracks in half. And we'll see. Yeah, Wally. I'm glad it's not the pickle one, because I'm more dedicated to eating the whole thing. That awful vegan beef jerky was, good Lord, the worst thing I ever put in my mouth, I think. Honest to God. Yeah, it's been a wild week. I think Severums are really cool. I think a lot of the South Americans, some of the colors that people are getting out of South Americans right now are crazy. The electric blue Johanny, is that it? That might be why I like them so much, because they're Johannes. Yeah, now I think I'm going to eat this whole thing. Like, it's actually not bad. But what a weird thing. This is the 24th flavor. Cotton candy flavored ice pot food. I'm down. I'm down to try that too, Wally. Dr. Pepper started out as medicine? So there's probably cocaine in it. It's kind of what cotton candy is supposed to look like. So it does look like a fiberglass insulation. I feel a little warmer. Yeah, Don, all the Patreons. I decided until we get a bunch of them, that's what I'm going to spend the money on. Is weird-ass food to eat on the show. So I have some stuff set up. I bought some stuff. It might not be weird to you guys, but it's from like the Mexican section of our local like discount grocery store. So it's like the legit Mexican snack foods that I've never tried. So I'm kind of, it's new to me. It might be old school. You guys will be like, oh my God, I have a cabinet full of those. But I'm excited to try them. Got a bunch of sushi nori to feed to my pods. I tried the nori and it didn't really go over that well. I wonder if I had to get it moist. I put it all in the thing and then it's kind of stirred into the dirt now. But I wonder if you get it wet. Did you get it wet, Jedi, or did you do it straight up? Yeah, there's a lot of history with different things. Like, there used to be a stupid amount of cocaine in Coca-Cola. And there's some, I don't know if it's true or not, but there was a rumor I heard that they still have to put a little bit of cocaine in there. I have had the fruit cereal Kit Kats and they were gross. I thought they were gross. I don't like the white chocolate on the Kit Kat. I don't think it's a good mix. The white chocolate with that cookie is not good. Yeah, we saw Don had his first baby. Dairy cows. Victor's getting baby anoles. Okay, I'll have to try that. I use bonito flakes. I found a thing of bonito flakes I had from when I first got a job as a chef. So they're years old, which is probably fine. But the protein guys go crazy for bonito flakes. If you go to an Asian market, you can get them in these little bags, like these little, it looks like a ramen bag, but it's bonito flakes. And it's pretty cheap. And like I said, they loved it. So that was good. That was definitely a good thing for them to have. I'm trying to see the ants are getting out again. I'm just having such a hard time with them. You'll get some menagerie. They'll figure it out. I was only in my house that liked them. This is actually legit good. I put I did give an update on my baby newts. So I separated out the biggest one from the, I'm trying to separate the bigger ones into a bigger grow out tank. Well, I wasn't thinking, and I forgot that I'd put like newborns in there because I have a good, it's a critter keeper that I just don't have a lid on and everything. It's fine. But I had copepods growing in there with some live plants and a couple snails, and the sponge filter was going really well. But I had a good amount of copepods. There was some Daphnia breeding in there, so I just threw the babies in there. Well, I forgot I did that. And so the very first thing that the biggest one I put in there, Sluggo, he literally 5 minutes later, I look in and I see him like bloated and like a third of a baby sticking out of his mouth and him just trying to like muscle it down. So he murdered his brother immediately. So now I'm trying to like juggle all those guys. I got the rest of the babies out of there. There was like 3 more babies. I just put them back in the adult tank because they're growing out to like a 1/4 inch in that tank without a problem because the parents don't even really see them. Newts are kind of stupid. I think finding anole hatchlings, are they still difficult to breed? Do you guys know in captivity, Wally, if you're still here? I wonder if they're still difficult to breed. Shrimp chips are like amazingly good. I thought they were going to be hot trash, but they are amazingly good. Vic, I'm hoping you have weird hybrids. Like a green anole and a Cuban might make a really cool baby. What else was there that I wanted to talk about today? I don't know. I'm having an explosion of babies in all of my tanks. No, they're not difficult to breed in captivity anymore? Okay. All right. I thought they were. Like when my parents kept them in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, they were, as far as we knew, one of the first people to breed them in captivity. Because we were looking at, they asked the zoo and the museum, the Field Museum here in Chicago, and pet stores, like, what do you do? We have babies. And nobody knew what to tell them. They were like, fruit flies, maybe. So we kept putting in like pieces of banana to get rotten and let the fruit flies breed in there, which basically made us have all kinds of fruit flies in our house. Corn syrup cotton candy. Cough syrup cotton candy. Oh, yeah. I mean, I would, if it was medicine, if it actually helped a cough, I would totally take this over a pill or a drink or whatever. Sluggo was not stupid, but he was a bastard because he had just eaten. So newts will eat pretty much whatever gets in front of them until they are ready to burst, till they literally can't eat anymore. Oh, that would be cool. I really like a western fence lizard. I think they look really cool. And the different, like when they flare up and have some, not different morphs, but like a different color system. Sorry, guys, my allergies. I've been crazy today. Yeah, I wonder if Mankai would be soft enough for those baby lizards. I would imagine. They're not fully hardened yet, right? And Vic, you're using like powders, right? Who else has got cool breeding projects? Do you guys have any cool breeding projects going on right now? I have Mankai in the Eternia build back there. Can you see it? Kind of. It's got a cool lighting effect on it. There's Mankai in there right now in that front tunnel system. They're all down in there, so I had to get some leaf litter down in there today. Make sure they have something. Powder orange is a good go-to. Yeah, but they stay pretty soft, so I think they'd be a great food source for a lot of lizards. I would imagine your anoles would pick them off, though. The adults, as many as they could. Dump some more in there, see what happens. Oh, that's cool to make a comeback from 2. Hopefully the 2 that you had were baby Australian knobtail geckos. Thank you for putting the dum-dum name in there for me, Wally. Levis. That's cool. First eggs. How many do they lay at once? Are they another, like, 2 eggs at once type of a lizard? I imagine most geckos are the 2 eggs at a time. Good luck with black soldier flies. I started a culture of white worms for the... I have like 4 cultures of different food items for these newt babies. So hopefully they'll grow up enough soon that I can sell or trade or send some gifts out to some folks. Oh, wow. So is that what makes them rare? The Levis? The fact that they don't breed too much? Breed your own crickets, Vic. Go for it. That is harder to do than I thought. I assumed they would just give them some dirt, keep them moist, keep them fed, and they go to town, but I've never had success with it. We've had, what other changes have we had around here lately? Not a ton. Just the new job situation, trying to figure out how to keep ants contained. Trying to figure out how to keep a kid contained. Like, what do you guys do when there's a turd kid that your kid's becoming friends with? The day geckos munch to the dairy cows. That seems like you're not putting enough dairy cows in there. A good 2 dozen ought to do it to start. I planted a sunflower room today, yesterday. For those of you who are following me on Facebook already know, but that is where you plant 4 walls of sunflowers in 4 rows and leave an opening on the 4th one. So then when it grows, you have like a shaded room you can sit in or with your kid playing. Yeah, Vic, I get it. I just don't want my daughter picking up those habits. This little kid is she's what I colloquially call a shit kid. I'm not a fan. I get it. She's 4. She's going to be 4. Like, it's a hurricane. Just hold on. Duct tape. I would duct tape this kid to something for sure. Fire skinks take care of yours. Lots of spiders like those walls. Boat walls, the concrete. We have lots of spiders down here. I've been feeding them to my jumper. Since talking to a future guest, we have a gal who comes on. Her specialty, she's an entomologist, and her specialty is jumpers. And she was saying that a lot of them just eat spiders. And so I've just been collecting spiders out of the basement here and tossing them in with them. And she's going to town. So once a week, she gets a spider that's about her size or a little bit bigger. And then a couple days later, that spider's not there anymore. Oh, sunflower room walls. I hope so. I hope the spiders like them. My kid is 4. She's a little over 4. So she's a little like behind other kids for being like turds. So 3 is like the bad one, but 4 has been a little more of a challenge. So the FU4s. Yeah, we'll have to find out when it becomes like a good time with kids. Like, I definitely prefer raising animals to kids. because you can kind of, I don't worry that my actions reflect on my kids. Like, I don't worry my isopods aren't going to pick up bad habits from me. My thumb must be a little wet because it's just like got paste on it from this Dr. Pepper. Yeah. People don't tell you 3 is worse than 2 until my daughter had her third birthday party. People were like, oh, batten down the hatches. Like, you thought 2 was bad. This is going to suck. But for 2, she was super easy. What an easy kid. And she's pretty easy still. She's all right, but everything is a meltdown right now. Everything is just a problem. So we'll see. My armadillo orange crusher doing really good. Your iSpots might choose someone else's legs because they see you chewing your nails. The armadillidium orange crusher doing well. They're growing. No babies yet, but my other officinalis took a long time. So I'm not worried about that, but I like that I can see them. I did still find some Spanish BBs in my, some Spanish officinalis BBs, because that's how I bought them. 11-year-old and a 14 and a 16. Oh, that would be nice. Faith keeps wanting to help me make dinner, and I do a lot of knife work when I'm making a dinner. I have to start planning some ones that she can help with, like where it's stirring or, okay, pour this in now, pour this in now. We did a dinner the other night where I had a lot of mise en place in place. Mise en place is a chef French term for everything in its place. And so I had a lot of like, okay, I have these diced herbs in a little jar here. I have these in a little shallots in a little thing here. I have this in here. So I would hand it to her and she'd pour it in the pot or pour it in the pan at the right time. Butter, I had everything I pre-measured. And so it was pain, but it was a lot of fun for us. Yeah, I'm hoping that I have enough brains and heart to raise this kid to be the awesome kid she can be. She's already pretty dope. Like, I didn't think having a kid would be this awesome, but it's pretty awesome. I knew it'd be cool. I just didn't know like the level of cool. When they just give you a random hug, when she just gives me a random hug now, it's like, oh man. Both autistic. That's a challenge. That sounds like a challenge, but yeah, I mean, they're kids. I think, Vic, in that case, it's kind of nice to know now so you can kind of get a handle on it, maybe, or have a better chance of getting a handle on it. Like, I don't know what the autism and schizophrenia, I don't know what that would be like. So good luck with it. I don't know how to even respond to that. Good luck with that. Mantis, I had to learn as an adult or a teenager how to cook because my mom couldn't cook for shit. She's doing okay now, but she was a horrible cook. Her mom was a horrible cook. Like, I don't know. She just learned that depression style cooking where you boil the crap out of everything. Like, everything was boiled. Our turkey every year for Thanksgiving, like when the gravy ran out, you stopped eating. Like, I remember pouring Sprite on my turkey to soften it up as a kid because it was so dry and so just desiccated. You'd be chewing and chewing and chewing. Okay. Yeah. Normal, except for a couple quirks. I should start posting recipes up on IsoBuddies. I did, to kind of celebrate the job interview, I did salmon, Cajun salmon with, it was a Cajun seasoning mix that I do. And then it had a little thyme added to it and shallots and butter in the sauce. And then I coated it in brown sugar, dark brown sugar. So just a little. So my wife's like, this is like spicy and sweet. And I was like, yeah, I know, that's what we want. And then it was roasted Brussels sprouts as a side, which I'm so full right now. It was so good. and so easy. Just a little bit of prep work and good to go. Yeah, I feel like getting meds dialed in. If I had the meds dialed in as a kid, I'd be in better shape today. So getting the meds dialed in now as an adult is like everybody's got these weird recommendations, like, oh, try this, try that. And it's like I'm trying to get meds dialed in. I don't want to mess around with anything else, like, and maybe get a weird reaction or a weird, like, I don't know if it's the meds or not that's doing it, or the vitamin B or whatever they have. Pineapple on ham to keep from drying and a little sweet. Pineapple and ham's a good mix. Pineapple and pizza, not. Ham and pizza, definitely. My mom's spaghetti and grilled cheese kind of lady. Yeah. Yeah. My mom, so her meatloaf sucks, but growing up with it, that's all I had was the meatloaf was like one of my favorite things that she did. She'd be that mom that snuck in all your vegetables into a meatloaf. So it's kind of like a loaf casserole. But that's the one I get for my birthday every year is my mom's janky old school meatloaf. And she always wants to up the game on it. And I'm like, no, don't, please. Like, this is what I'm craving. This is what I want as my birthday dinner. Yeah, shallots and butter is so good. And herbs. Got to add some herbs in there. So we have thyme. We have lemon thyme in the garden right now. It came back huge. So I've been harvesting that as many times as I can. Bacon, grilled cheese. Oh, that's right. Menagerie, your kid had to have her gallbladder out. That would be so tough, especially as a teenager. Having had gallstones, I totally understand that. What else did I miss? Spaghetti, shallots, butter. Meds are solid. I was so against meds my whole life, and now I'm like, nah, keep the meds. What other animals? Anybody got anything new? I keep seeing velvet spiders everywhere, and I don't know what that is. I haven't looked into it because I'm scared I'll get into it, and they're super expensive. Somebody explain to me what a velvet spider is. Man, that's a fair part of therapy. Having to do confrontation. I'm super confrontational, so it works for me. But I have to like dial it down. I have to dial that confrontation down instead of being like, you treat me like shit. You have to kind of do a little better than that. Velvet spiders are crazy expensive, but they hide. They look a lot like jumpers to me. I thought they just were another kind of jumper. Those giant American millipedes are friggin' massive. I love that every therapist has such a different way of doing things. Mine tells me, like, don't let them affect you. It's them affecting them. And it's like, that's not how social interaction works, my friend. Like, you need to go back to school. That's not what you're paying them for, Vic. You're not paying your therapist to talk about themselves. That's one of the most passive aggressive things I've ever heard in my life. Got meds from my general practitioner. I will say, you kind of can dodge therapy. If you decide to do that, please, for the love of God, get into mindfulness meditation. This month's or this week's Time magazine, that's the cover, and I can't tell you the results that I've gotten and people have gotten out of it. So definitely, like I did 10 minutes in the car before my interview today, and so I walked in like a powerhouse. Yeah, see, Miles agrees. I knew Miles would agree with me. Miles is always on board. Well, at least you recognize the need for meds, Vic. That's good. That was a hard thing for me to accept, that I needed meds, or accept that meds were going to help me. So I thought meds were for soft people. Yeah, if you can get into mindfulness meditation, like get into it. All right, my kid was upset about a dress. She basically stole a dress from the neighbor kid and was wearing it when we started to go home, and then I realized she still had it on. Oh, John, if your mom made the best meatloaf, like, you are a lucky kid. I do my own, like, doctored chef style meatloaf that I add all these crazy ingredients to, all these crazy flavors, bacon wrap it, all that mess, and it's good. It's, don't get me wrong, it's delicious, but it's not. I try to call it something else because it's not meatloaf to me. It's not that shredded carrots and kale and all kinds of crazy crap in the meatloaf that my mom would do. My wife hates my mom's meatloaf because it's gross. Man, this confrontation can be hard. Any kind of confrontation, because nobody wants to hear that they're doing wrong from their friends. Another therapist had a wonderful husband. I was the same way, no meds till I was 40. Yeah, I wish I'd have done meds sooner. I think I'd be a different person. I don't know who doesn't eat meatloaf. I'm working on my grilling game because my grilling game sucks, and I need to do it more because I want the charcoal grill, though, and that's an art form. That's not just a thing. Yes, football meatloaf. I do that style of Elton Brown where you're not in a pan, you're doing it on foil. So basically it is a football. Yeah, but it doesn't break apart. If you pack it right, it doesn't break apart. So it stays that meatloaf and you don't have that pan to scrape out later. I don't know what the texture would be. I got to have that like crispy outside and then like well done inside on my meatloaf. I wonder if you could grill one. I have the probe that you just stick in and go. It's not in there. I need to get the one that you like. It gives you the immediate reading. I need to get that one. We had it at the barbecue place I worked at, and we had to, temp every piece before we pull it. I had to have a confrontation with an ISO buddy, a couple ISO buddies in the last couple weeks. And it took me very little time. I had to realize, like, these people probably should have gone a long time ago. So I think they're gone. I think that's how we got down to 229 subs this week. We lost one sub, and I'm pretty sure who it is. Cold meatloaf sandwiches are so good on a good ciabatta. I feel like having a good smoker is a big deal. Like, but you have to plan it the day before, basically. A sandwich maker. Oh, one of those presses? Like a sandwich press? And Miles, if you're good at protecting others, protect yourself from those shitty people. And you may be protecting them from having a weird confrontation in the future. I'm just gonna... I don't know how much of this would just be all over my face. Checking out that leopard gecko. I feel like leopard geckos are like little cats. The ones I had that did the tail flick when they hunted and all of that. That was a lot of fun to watch. Watching them go hunt out their prey was always so much fun for me. 2 probe meat thermometer. Now I can make just about anything. Hey, bud. You're famous now. to 8 people. It has triangles in it that the bread gets formed into. We just saw that. We just saw one of those at Walmart or something. It was on clearance for like $4. We didn't pick it up because the kid, like, sometimes she eats grilled cheese and sometimes she doesn't. John, your mom's meatloaf sounds dope. Sous vide? Oh, man. Menagerie is bougie. Those sous vide things are no joke. Jack got blasted. Mine already kind of broke the lid for the Opeula tank. I got those in, by the way. I don't know if I told you guys. I was going to do a video on them or do a short video, but they're so hard to see right now. I got a dozen, the Opeula, those shrimp from Hawaii that survive in a puddle, basically like a brine puddle. Poor Nanette. Poor Nanette having to deal with a snake-like lizard. A lizard acting like a snake. I love a hot ham and cheese. I like a crispy bread on a sandwich. Soft bread on a sandwich is not, I don't see the point in it. There's so many great items that Innova makes for your kitchen. The sous vide thing I definitely want, but I don't know how much I'd use it. There's a lot of prep to get it going. Cat's gonna be such a pain in the ass. Mine get up on the hamster cage. She's in a 38 bow front, and they'll get up on the top of that. So now I have it covered in 2-sided tape, just the tape. So when they get up there, they get the tape on their paws and they flip out. The only time I used the sous vide was at that fine dining restaurant I was at. And then apparently you need special license to have it. I didn't know because I wasn't the head chef. But we got kind of jacked up for having it. Like, we got in a lot of trouble. Mesh lids are sketchy for different items. So, like the mesh, that's like a metal screen that would normally come with the tanks. I don't think is a big deal because their toes don't get caught in it. But like the screen, they can get caught in it. Like especially I know tarantulas on a screen, their little toe hairs and stuff can get caught in it, and they can really hurt themselves. Man has got it. What is a sous vide? A sous vide. So sous vide is a technique of cooking. So you put your ingredients in a bag. If you can get them vacuum sealed, that's better because vacuum sealing pulls the flavors into the meat or into whatever. I have some tricks for if you have a vacuum sealer that are great for parties. But a sous vide is a temperature controlled bath. Basically, you set it to whatever temperature you need, like 160 is kind of the general 160, 165. So you take your meat in this bag and you just put it in there. And you can leave it in there all day and it just keeps it at 160 or 140 or whatever. Sometimes you want to do it a little under because then you'll take it out of there and you'll put it on your griddle or your grill or whatever for a little bit just to get a caramelization on it, to get those grill marks. And the flavor of it, it's cooked perfectly every time. But you can literally leave it all day and it just keeps it at that temperature. So it doesn't overcook. But spoiler, if you get the vacuum sealer, You take cubes of watermelon, about 1-inch cubes, put a shot of tequila in there, vacuum seal it. And when that happens, the science of it is that when the vacuum hits the watermelon, or it works with cucumber too, for sure, the cells work the same. The cells kind of break. They expand out to the point that they burst. They absorb that alcohol, and then when it vacuums, they kind of form back down. But the 1-inch cube becomes this like 1.5 to 2-inch cube. And then you have like a watermelon shot right there. You could use any booze you want, but tequila is what we did. You can make bomb-ass lemon curd. That sounds awesome. Yep, the food saver is the same thing. The vacuum sealer. Any of those vacuum sealers, you can do those great. So great. Red potato, fresh garlic, onion, and pepper. A freeze dryer. I didn't know you could get a freeze dryer. Yeah, sous vide was a game changer for me. Immersion blender was a game changer for me. I chopped up salmon skin from dinner tonight. I had the crispy salmon skin, so I cut that into like ribbons. Gonna give that to the pods tonight. Smaller pieces so I know they eat it, so it doesn't stink up the joint, because last time I gave them something like that, it didn't get eaten in time. I overestimated what they could eat, and it was a hot mess. I wonder if they have the freeze dryer thing that's the combo. Like it has the combo with the sous vide or whatever. They have that crazy machine now that you just set it in the morning and it sets to cook for you at a certain time. Give the pod some cotton candy. Yeah, I wonder if they would eat it. Who's in here? Marinella? Let's see. How are you guys doing? That's a lot of springtails. They're under the leaves or something. I just watered yesterday, and everybody was a little dry, so probably overdid it a little bit. This is my Marina Borneo mix. Yeah, Ching was asking about that. I don't know if Ching left already. He was giving his pods sugar for a little bit, and it came out. I don't know if he did it again or not, but he thought they were pretty hyper. I'll tell you, I'm pretty hyper right now. Like this is a lot of sugar. And I still have to eat this. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells like a flat Dr. Pepper, like you left it out too long. I don't know, the flower pot fungus is a big deal in your bins unless it gets out of hand, like unless it gets totally crazy. I think they just eat it or it cycles through the soil. Or add some actual bark and wood. Wally, what's got you sick? Oh, more of this? More of this mess? I love cotton candy. I'm going to tell you right now, I just love it. This is one of the best inventions of the 50s or whatever the hell. If they made bacon flavored cotton candy, I'd probably be like 600 pounds. Oh, the fungus? Yeah, but it processes through. So it processes through and makes the soil better. So maybe stir some leaves into it and let it break it down and let it turn into that mess. Or wood chips, like legit, like the white rot wood. Wally, I love Peeps. Oh my God, I love Peeps. Are there bacon flavored Peeps? Mantis. Bourbon flavored cotton candy. Oh my God. There's a David Tell joke there, Jedi Monkey, that I won't get into. They have so many different flavored Peeps, and then they have ones now that are, the bottom is dipped in chocolate, like dark chocolate or milk chocolate or whatever. And those are a taste treat. And if you use a Peep for a s'more, we used a Peep. So we burned the Peep basically, and then it made like a creme brulee almost on the outside, like it caramelized that sugar. Then we used a Reese's peanut butter cup as the chocolate on the graham cracker. Holy cow. Maple bacon flavored cotton candy. Peeps are so great. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Peeps are so great. Okay. This is a thing. All of my friends that hate Peeps like circus peanuts. And I think circus peanuts are vile. Vile. Like they make me physically ill. Way too sweet. I mean, I'm eating sugar. Whole. I ate brown sugar last time while he was on, out of a bag. And now it's all for ant juice. All right, you shouldn't like circus peanuts. I think there's a different, like, I think you should be on a watch list somewhere if you like circus peanuts because something's wrong with you. They're so gross. I wish they stayed that way, like that soft, if you left them out, because they would make great packing material. Just an amazing packing material. I don't know. I feel like people 60 and over, like my mom likes circus peanuts. Whole other monster. I don't get the hate on Peeps. Peeps are so good. Although they made a Peep cereal and I couldn't do it. And I love a cereal with marshmallows. But I couldn't deal with a Peeps cereal. It was too far for me. That's not a cereal. Like, stop trying to pretend you're a breakfast food at that point. Try Mikey. He'll eat it. Toasted marshmallows are great. That is the best flavor of Jelly Belly. And I don't know why you can't just buy a bag of those. Chalk candy. Like the old cigarettes, Mantis? Peep flavored meatloaf. Wally, you had to take it too far. Too far, Wally. We're learning a lot about you guys, though. Necco wafers are pretty gross. I think Necco wafers have seen their... they've gone too far. I hope you bought a bag of those cereal marshmallows because of me, because I've gone through a few bags of those in the last year. In 2021, I went through 3 bags. So I was just adding them to all the cereal. Yeah, Wally took it too far on my show. Yeah, they had Necco wafers at Cracker Barrel. Do you guys have Cracker Barrel where you are? I think they're everywhere, right? Like at every major highway off-ramp. Vic, my wife loves Smarties too, and that's basically chalk candy. I will say Smarties jelly beans are some of the best candy. Nerds jelly beans are better, but Smarties jelly beans are dope. It's like what I imagine pastel tastes like. Like if you could taste pastel, that's what it tastes like. It tastes like Smarties gummy jelly beans. Wait, menagerie is s'more bark? Is that a real thing? Okay. Cracker Barrel's a rash all over the country. Dots with the paper on the back. I feel like that's a thing that is, when we're dead, it'll be gone, because I don't think kids eat that anymore, because you can't not eat the paper. Like, the paper's part of it. Anywhere there's old white people. I feel like I'm the only one that ever goes in a Cracker Barrel that isn't going cross country. Like, whenever we travel, we have to stop at a Cracker Barrel somewhere along the way. If it's longer than a 2-hour drive, we stop at a Cracker Barrel. It's like tradition. But we went there the other day because we hadn't had it in forever. So we don't go anywhere anymore. So we have a 4-year-old. Burt Spots jelly beans. Oh, gross. Yeah, I can't. Now that they added the weird flavors in, I can't do it anymore. The paper's disgusting, though. But the Cracker Barrel, I was like, the weird general store aspect of it was so bizarre to me. They had everything that was like off-brand or some weird thing you never heard of. I always look at the toys in weird places. Like, if we're at a gas station or a rest stop, I have to look in the toy section and be like, what weird crap is here? Because there's always something bizarre that you've never seen before. I'm a toy fanatic. So seeing the weird toys and the off-brand, or sometimes you find something that's like some weird-ass knockoff of Spider-Man or Wonder Dude or whatever. like they're labeled all weird, but it's like a Superman body with a Spider-Man head and Batman arms. It's bizarre. There's one about 10 minutes from me. What do you order from Postmates? Well, candy buttons, if you didn't eat the paper, you weren't cool. That's true. Wax bottle. That always gave me a weird taste in my mouth, the wax, the juice in those wax bottles. Spooner Man. You can see a small fraction of my toys behind me. Like, there's 3 whole shelves. Like, that's one shelf of Lego stuff. There's a whole shelf unit there. There's 2 shelf units there. 3 shelf units there that are toys. Cracker Barrel from Postmates. You order Cracker Barrel? Like the food? Or just the ham? Like, I know you can order the ham. I can't have sour candy. There's no way. It affects me in a visceral level. Like, I can't. It makes me so sick. Wally Fun Dip. I tried to introduce my daughter to that. I'm like, she's perfect age, 4 years old. Let her cover herself in Fun Dip with that goofy, whatever the hell flavor that tongue depressor is supposed to be. You know what? I'm going to give some of this to my aunts and see what they do with it. Let's see if they start in on it. All right, one of them found it. Let's see what else they do. Let's see. I'm going to put it in their tank, actually. Let's do that. See what happens. Nope. Are you too good for your home? Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see if the ants get into... Oh, they found it. Should have done that first. I could have filmed that whole thing. There are a ton of them in there, you guys. There is a crazy amount of ants in here. Do I have the flashlight over here? I could show you, but I don't have the flashlight. So let's see if we can do something and show you guys the ants. Oh, Postmates is like a DoorDash? DoorDash rips off the restaurants, so I can't really get behind it. All right, let's see if we can show you guys this craziness. Can you see that that's all ants and brood? Oh my God, they stacked the brood over there. Yeah, this is them using way more of their setup than they did. So I'm really proud of them. There's the cotton candy. It's already getting swarmed. That's a good thing. It's getting swarmed by majors. That's an extra good thing. That means I can't leave this cotton candy out. Yeah, that's just one side. That's not even the main nest. Like on this other side, the short side, they are filled top to bottom. So it's kind of cool to see. It means you're doing something right? When they're breeding like that or having babies like that, that's a good thing. I'll worry about these guys later. Ugh. They make me crazy. Keeping them contained has been the biggest problem. If they were purposeful ants, as opposed to accidental, yeah, they're on purpose. They're on purpose. Then that's listening and just went on Amazon to find Pop Rocks. oh my God, I would totally give the ants Pop Rocks. I'll film that, Wally. I'll get some Pop Rocks, and then that doesn't have to send them. If she wants to, that's fine. Because I got to give some to Faith, too. I want to see her face. They don't make them like they used to. Remember when they hurt? Like, you'd open your mouth, and it would literally hurt. I don't know what my computer's doing. Sorry. You'd put them in your mouth, and then you would open your mouth and expose it to oxygen. It would be like, pop! And it would hurt like a bitch. Accidental ants into your houseplants? Ooh. Like, I'm not a fan of this, but I would, if you have isopods and stuff, I would set out bait or something and kill them. Or get the plants outside and rehouse them to get them out of there. Like undo all the dirt and do all new dirt. And maybe let the ants just go outside. Accidental ants. That is a great band name. Purposeful Ants, I think, is a better band name. Purposeful Ants. That was a different... I didn't know what he meant. So, all right. So we are done with cotton candy for the night because I can feel the jitters. And we are going to figure out how to clip this. I just saw a clip. So the ants don't get to it. If I don't do it now, I'll forget. Your old house has ants. Corgis eating Pop Rocks and growling at you. That's great. I've never tried Vegemite. That would be a good thing to try on the show. I would just be worried that I'd have this tub of Vegemite. Actually, that sounds really good. We don't have any Australian viewers, but I think it would be... I wonder if I could get it in the store if I'd have to order it. Okay, yeah, Miles, if you're fine with them being in your plants, that's fine. I just had to spray by the door because we're getting in the tiny ants again. There was tons of them at my front door the other day, waiting just like, hey, man, you're going to open the door so we can all get in here? Our poppers, the 4th of July things. See, I want Mexican fireworks. Like, whenever I see a video of Mexican fireworks, it's like an old man making them on the corner of the street and he's missing like 3 fingers and an eye. And you know those are good, those are good ass fireworks. Oh, I got you your old house. It's your current house, but it's old. 1907. There's ghosts. You 100% have ghosts in that house. You lit your pocket on fire as a kid. I miss those days when it was dangerous to be a kid. Now kids are so soft. They have no idea. No idea. Building shitty ramps in the front with like a stood up brick in a 2x4, and as soon as you hit that ramp, it would collapse and you go flying over your handlebars. Oh, I'm guessing Mantis lit the pocket on fire with those crazy Mexican snap pops. Yeah, the little ones. I should put some diatomaceous earth out because that's the only thing that really just murders them. And it's fast. It kills them quick. Holy cow. Victor, that's a crazy story. Got snagged on a medal. Like Native American stuff as a kid. Went to the movies with poppers in my pocket and an arrowhead in the other. See, that's a childhood. An arrowhead in one hand, in one pocket, and that's a kid's pockets. Mexican foil wrap snap pops in the other. Sorry, that's what we call them in Illinois, snap pops. I don't know if everybody else calls them that, but they are weak sauce. Yeah, those are the ones you can like smash them on your forehead and it pops, but it doesn't do anything. It just makes a noise. That's good that kid thinks he's invincible. I think the kids in my neighborhood are pretty soft. Like they get crying about stuff and foil flakes in your leg. Gross. Also got hit by a car at the school bus stop. Good Lord. You guys have some stories. I was thinking I was going to be telling stories tonight. Don't ever stick a ball of foil and a 9-volt battery in the same pocket. Yeah. I've seen that on Survivor Man. Like that's how they make fires, my friends. 4 kids on a glorified Hot Wheel. That's too much. That's too much. Yeah, we didn't care. We had ramps for our big wheel. Did you guys have the big wheel? Are you old enough for that? Is that still a thing? I think I saw a neighbor kid with a big wheel. But that was the jam when I was a kid. The big wheel was the thing, and you'd ride it until like the center of the wheel, the part that hit the ground, would rot off, like it would wear off. And so you just have these like 2 raggedy like hubcaps basically that you were driving on. Menagerie's got no stories. You have stories, Menagerie. I think you have stories from your adulthood. The big wheel was the shit. As Bill Murray said in Stripes, I want to party with you. That is the people you want to go out with. You want to hang out with those people, the crazies in your life. What happened to my camera? There we go. I don't need you guys seeing my laundry room. Flower babies you got in high school? Left mine in the road. Your cousin ran out to get your flower baby. That was the dumbest project in the world. I didn't have that when I was a kid. We didn't really. I think we had 1 teen pregnancy in town, and that was like a scarlet letter when I was a kid. Like, teen pregnancies were just not done. It was sad. It's sad the crap that those kids got, those poor girls, but like it just wasn't done when I was a kid. Made cookies out of the flower baby. Yes. A green machine? What is a green machine? Is that like the old John Deere tractor that you had with pedals? Because I had that too at my grandpa's. That was like this big metal. It was crazy. It was like a metal tractor with the bicycle wheels or bicycle pedals. And it was hard as crap to drive because it took forever to get it moving. Once it was moving, boy, you'd wreck some stuff if you hit it. Well, see, I went to a small high school, so if kids got pulled out of school, we would know. They were just there. You know what? Until they showed. Like, no one was having kids when they showed. Sorry, my computer's doing weird stuff today. Yeah, I don't think they should pull those kids out. I think people should see them walking into school like, oh, their swollen ass ankles, and because I feel like the last trimester is a lot of suffering. And I think that's what the kids need to see. That's what other kids need to see, and to be like, oh, no. No thank you to that. The robot baby version. Yeah, and they wonder about our tax dollars. An orange crate. How do they make orange and lemon crates? It's a big wheel with 2 wheels on the back, and you controlled it with 2 levers. What? Like you were pedaling with the 2 levers? Hey, Andrew. Our school basically sent pregnant teens to continuation school. Oh, they had like the trailer school out back. Yeah, that just sucks. Like, I don't know. It's a natural thing. Sorry, sex ed's been a big, sex ed in school has been a big conversation lately, ever since the Don't Say Gay bill. That whole commotion. I won't get into it too much, but I personally think sex ed is important in school. And I think as long as you keep it age appropriate, like, yeah, start it in kindergarten, whatever. Start it in kindergarten as hey, don't let adults touch your no-no spot. You need to tell somebody. Okay, I didn't have the bar for it. We had to kind of figure it out on our own with like backpedaling, how to drift. But they had the bar. Now they have the bar with the sparks. I remember my nephews got it. You pull it down and it's got like the flint for the like a lighter, and it sparks the whole time. We need kids able to stay in school if they get pregnant. Suddenly taking all support is a recipe for disaster. Yeah. You make these kids, you make them super depressed, you make them feel like crap. They didn't do it on purpose, ostensibly. Like, hopefully 99% of them didn't do it on purpose. I saw that. I saw that post that somebody's using people's pictures for their thumbnails for their videos. That's super shitty. If you guys want to name that dude here so we can ostracize that guy, like, that's fine with me. We'll post it up. Like, I think those people should be just devastated in the hobby. Like, go sell your garbage stuff to Petco or PetSmart or whatever. Yeah, Andrew's got some crazy good pics of his geckos. If you guys are looking for geckos this year, reach out to Andrew. He's got some leopards coming in that are unbelievable. So we all know Wally's got good geckos. Andrew's got DEA Exotics. Holy cow. He's been showing me some pictures of some of his babies this year. And wow. Here's what your body has. And here are spots only for you kind of stuff. Yes. I think kids need to know all of that stuff. Like, my kid's 4 and we still call it like her goo-goo, right? So, which we need to kind of stop and be like, nope, that's your vagina. So she knows what's up. Like, I think that's fair. And she's starting to notice differences. Like, she tries to barge in on me every time I'm going to the bathroom, and it's like, get out. 2 people haven't liked this. Like it now. Victor's my like police, and I love it. Wally didn't like the video? Wally, come on, brother. Yeah, get over to DEA for your geckos. I'm telling you, your leopard geckos. All right, Don sent me a green machine. I was going to Google it later anyway. That's perfect. Yeah, I don't know who else. Who doesn't like videos as they're watching live stream? I get it if you're watching it later, like you forget or you have it on whatever. But yeah, just do it. Kids need to know actual names for things so they can have a vocabulary. Yes, I feel like that's totally appropriate. We've been having that discussion with my wife. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are pretty old school, like that old school Christian type where they don't talk about it. But I feel like they need to know, and they need to know what's up. Kids need to know, like, hey, like my daughter's too friendly. Like I can't take my eye off her because she'd be gone. Somebody'd be like, hey, come here, check this out. She'd be like, okay. They wouldn't have to say what it is. They'd just be like, hey, come here, I want to show you something. She's gone. She'd be gone, whatever it was. Mock Snow and Skittles Jungle. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I bet they're beautiful. Your mind is blind. You're making thumbnails tonight, Wally. Come on. I don't know what a Skittles Jungle is. I know what a Mac is, and I know a Mac Snow. I'll have to see pictures. You'll have to send me pictures of that. Try to post them up on ISO Buddies. Post them up on ISO Buddies, the Facebook, so everybody knows what you're talking about, Vic. Yeah, guys, I think tonight was fun. Next week, I'm like 90% positive we have Rachel coming on. There's my music is up for some reason. Rachel from Pet Peds and Pods. We finally got her to come back. Yes, it is Rachel Beach. We are going to try to reschedule. And then we're going to talk about beetles. And then we're going to talk about mantises. And then hopefully we're going to talk about ball pythons. I think it's ball pythons or retics. I don't remember. On the 21st. I have to reschedule that one too. That was the one that was supposed to be last week. And then I messed up and thought it was Biggs last week and this guy today and Keith Strambaugh. And it was not. I reversed them on accident and canceled and then uncanceled, and it got all confused. So it was real dumb. But next week is Rachel. We're going to talk about straight up millipedes. Like, we haven't really done that yet, like dedicated an episode to millipedes yet. So we're going to talk to Rachel about that. And then we're going to talk to Cody Black about beetles. And I'm super excited for that one. Although Cody Black assumes I know way more about beetles than I do, which is more than nothing. So yeah, we're getting into some other bugs. So, and the gal that we're having on for mantises, I was like, hey, I heard you like mantises. Like, can we have you on the show to talk about them? And she's like, yeah, but I have like a degree and my specialization is jumping spiders. And I was like, that sounds great. My audience loves jumping spiders. And I said, but that's not what we're going to talk about this time. I want to talk about mantises finally. So we'll have her back to talk about jumpers and possibly velvets as well. She just clarified what a Portia spider is for me. And that's my most fascinating spider. I would love to get one, but they basically only eat spiders. So I would have to keep other spiders as food. They're a jumper technically, I guess, and they will strum on the web of another spider and act like it sends the signals either of a male approaching to mate or a prey item or another type of spider coming to invade the nest or the web. And so whatever they do to lure that spider out to them, and then they jump it and eat it. And they move like a little wind-up toy. They move like little robots, kind of. So if you look up Portia spiders, Portia, they're dope. I don't think we're going to talk about them, but I think they're worth viewing. Like, go check them out on YouTube. They're super cool. They look kind of hairy. They're built weird. Like, their legs are like straight up and then over and then straight down. They look like little wind-up toys, like creepy, hairy wind-up toys. So check those out. Vampire crabs are so cool. I'm definitely going to have those in the big vivarium because you guys talked me into that. And if I get this job, I'll be making more money than I ever made before. So I'll be pumping that build out. That build will be happening. So fingers crossed for this one tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow's the interview. Freaking out. I'll finally make more than my wife. So that's never happened before. And I kind of fell into this, so hopefully this works out. Yeah, vampire crabs are super awesome when you see them. Having them in a setup like mine is gonna be tough because I won't ever see them. So I'll have to like leave them alone to see if they're alive or not, or use my crazy snake cam to get in and see where they are under behind stuff. Vic, my allergies have been crazy today. I don't know where you're at, but the allergies in Illinois, the pollen levels are stupid. Hopefully we'll have a music video for you guys next week. I tried doing it this week and my video editing skills are so, and I don't fully know the song yet. So I'm trying to do it. It's going to be special. It's going to be special. We're going to promote the Patreon pretty hard this month. I accidentally have a teeny pet millipede because it was living in some moss I bought. Yeah, man, bring it in. Let it go. If you're watching, leave a like. Would love to have people come back too. Heck yeah. Thanks, Don. Yeah, I really could use it. Like, this is a big deal. Getting back to what I know, kind of my roots, my new roots of banking. Guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of your bugs. Stay on your meds. Talk to your therapists about you and not your therapists. Somebody. We're not naming names. You know who you are, and we know who you are. Cook something for yourself this week. That's my challenge to you this week. Look at a recipe online. Cook something for yourself. Something you've never tried before. I'm going to do potato gnocchi. I'm going to do that from scratch this week. I've never tried it. I don't really do homemade pasta. But we're definitely going to do that this week. Allergic to maple tree pollen. Yikes. Hashtag happy pets. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, which I never remind anybody to do. We have a Patreon. I'm going to add it to the description of the video. We have a Redbubble page where I got this wonderful hat that actually fits because I got a haircut. So yeah, I got a bit of a haircut. They took off about this much hair. So yeah, it's like this much hair. So it's enough for a wig. So I feel like I should have gotten paid for that haircut. So my hats all fit again, which is nice. But yeah, next week's going to be good. It's going to be Rachel. We're going to have Rachel. I cannot think of her last name. But Pet Peas and Pods. That's all you need to know. And the ants are destroying this. I need you guys to see this right now before we leave. Can you see that good with the light there? They love cotton candy. I think it's wet from their saliva. Like it was not that liquidy when I put it in there. Or do you see them coming out of here? Right here, they made this like, they dug this cotton out. And this is like, I've never seen this many ants in here before. This is kind of new. Schindler Beach, that's it. I don't know why. Rachel's been like, she was our very first guest. I feel like I should know her name. She's been a friend of the show since we had a show. Or I had a show, or whatever. Yeah, the ants are pretty cool. They're a pain in the ass, but they're really cool. I love them. So, guys, have a great night. Love you guys. Sorry about last week again. Sorry we didn't have Biggs on this week. Like I said, there's like a family thing going on, so or a personal thing going on. So hopefully we'll get him on a Thursday. I want to get him back as soon as possible once things settle down, and we'll see if we can't do that. So and then we're going to try to have a couple other people on, a couple other old school guests. So if you know someone who you think would make a good guest, let me know. We're trying to get somebody to talk about raptors. She's got to check with her mentor, I guess, because they can't do anything educational. I was like, it's conversation. But so she is a falconer, an apprentice falconer, which I think is fascinating. We're also trying to talk with an artist. So, but she hasn't gotten back to me. But have a good night, you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support and watching and being a part of this and being an ISO buddy. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday, and I'll see you